It's the power of J Skull.
It's your idea, man. It wasn't my idea.
I know.
This was your idea.
I know!
And I went in with hope because it had our name, Jason.
I know.
It had to be good.
And it had Scotty in it.
To be good, right? Jason of Starker, man. And I did have some embryonic memories of this show, seeing the show on TV. Because it was the mid-70s, I think this came out, late 70s. So
78 and 79, yes.
78 and 79. This bad. This was rough, Chase. This was rough. I tried so hard to be optimistic about it. By about episode 4, dude, I was looking for a butter knife to slit my wrist with because I deserved that much pain because I was watching this.
This TV show would be like, what if Doctor Who had a quarter of the budget and 1/20th of the brain?
It's just Battle Beyond the Stars without any charm, with no George Papard.
This was heinous. Even for a kids show, this was heinous. My favorite character was Wiki.
Hey,
every time they took Wiki out of Jason's pocket, I was like, yes! Let's wiki this thing up. Oh, there he is. You sweet, wonderful.
A Nintendo Entertainment System with legs.
You sweet, wonderful, wind-up marvel, you. I had that same toy whenever I was younger. I don't know how they hid the wind-up twisty thing on the side.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
Yeah. I mean, it was
pretty great. It has, but then it has the ability to magically fly with the help of fishing wire.
Yes.
And do all this amazing stuff. And what's great about it, every time he's used in this series, there has to be a comment made by Jason. Oh, thanks for you, Wiki. You did it again, type of deal. Every single time.
They had toys to sell.
It was like Wiki was emotionally insecure and needed constant positive reinforcement. So,
I read something very interesting. You know the little noise he made, that little noise?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what that noise is?
Yes, I do.
I don't know if you remember the Filmation Brady Bunch cartoon.
Oh my!
That is the pandas talking to each other. Blah, 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 and they just sped it up. So that's the pandas from the Brady Bunch. Blah, blah, blah,
blah, blah. Oh, this is so low rent. It's not funny. It's an interesting idea and concept because it was actually attached to another show, a Tarzan show, I believe.
Space Academy.
Academy.
Starring Mark Leonard, by the way.
Oh,
really? No, I'm sorry, not Mark Leonard. The guy who played Dr. Smith on Lost in Space. Oh my gosh, what was his name?
Yeah, I've gone blank too, but I know him.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad because I love that guy, but he was he was the star of Space Academy, and then they did this movie, or they did this show, and he was like, can you give me more money? And they're like, no, we got Scotty over here. He works cheap. Have you got a cheese sandwich? I haven't eaten in 3 days.
I do think it's an attempt to go back to the more, in the 1930s and 40s serialized adventure series where each part's a short little film that makes up. And that's the idea of season 1 of the show, is that's what they did. This makes up a whole story. So that's why they were 11 and a half minutes each.
Yes.
I believe each episode. So it's an interesting idea, but just pulled off. And you mentioned it. You opened up that can of worms. How drunk is James doing throughout every scene he's in this show?
Well, he can't be that drunk because he left the show after one season because they were shooting Star Trek The Motion Picture. And he was like, to frick with you, I got this movie over here.
The dump truck had rolled up with the cash for him, so he was totally out, which is stunning.
I don't know if it was a dump truck. It was more like maybe a small wheelbarrow, but still, that's got to be more money than what they were paying him for this movie.
I mean, this TV show. Why did he even do it? Why would he?
He needed the money. He's got to work. He needs the money.
It was crazy to me and he wasn't alone. All the actors. I mean, Jesus, even Spock himself is doing Unsolved Mysteries, which is just a voiceover on a TV show. the fact that all these guys really struggled in the 70s to get work is so disappointing. Because honestly, he's better than this. And I do stand by the fact that he is drunk in a lot of this.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of these actors are kind of tooted in this. And no more than the great Sid Haig.
Oh, Sid Haig.
Sid Haig.
Man.
Captain Spaulding himself.
Where is I have a picture of him. Here he is.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. He is high. He is so high. It's like, dude.
Yeah. Smoke is pouring out of his trailer in between. Before he gets back on set.
Jason ain't here, man.
It is literally like they got Chong from Cheech and Chong to play the villain. And he's just such a one-note villain too. He's, I'll get you next time, Jason of Star Command.
It's Dollar General Ming the Merciless. I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. I don't even remember his name. I think it was like,
no, it's Dollar Store Ming there. Now.
Dollar Store Ming.
Poor the guy that played Jason, Craig Litter, isn't it? Craig Litter.
Yeah, Craig Litter. Yes.
Man, the dude comes straight off playing a weatherman somewhere, wasn't he? Because that's the vibes I get. He's telling you how much rain's going to be forecast over the weekend on his other job.
Hey, you know what though? You gotta respect an actor who can be in a starring role with that sort of disability, though. I mean, to be born completely without a personality is not something that you can do a whole lot with. But the fact that he has all of the charisma of a hunk of mahogany is quite astounding.
And there are several scenes in the episodes I watched where he's, the camera's locked off, so they've locked off on the set, and he's having to go around these cardboard sets and try to convincingly press buttons to activate certain things or jam a doorway or do whatever. And he tries as he might. It just looks horrible.
Oh, my gosh.
But who else is horrible in this? And I have a fondness for this actor who used to appear on little bits here and there. But the professor.
Oi.
Oi, 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 the professor.
Oi.
I know him from somewhere, Jace. I don't know where I know that actor from. But wow. He had a tax that pay off clearly.
Is that Charlie Dell?
Yes, Charlie Dell. 100%.
Charlie Dell. There we go. Trapper John, Columbo, Desperate Housewife. So, I mean, he's still working today.
Yeah, he was on a lot of, he's that guest starring role, wasn't he? That kind of actor.
Yeah.
I
hated him in this show so much. I just absolutely hated him.
There's no likable characters in this whatsoever.
Except for Wiki. Do not disparage Wiki. That tells you how boring that the main character was. That every time he took this plastic robot out of his pocket, it was like, oh, good, Wiki's here.
And I make a big point of it in the first episode. This is Wiki. Keep him here. He will be handy. But he gets an upgrade in season 2. Do you notice that? In season 2 of the series.
Who, Jason or Wiki?
Wiki does.
Oh, okay.
Wiki does because Wiki becomes a little portable television in a way. He has a screen.
I thought that they'd make him talk. It's like, okay, Wiki, time to go back in. No, don't store me next to your crotch. No!
They were able to do that because all the extra money they had now, James doing it was off the books. Yeah. It isn't such a key indicator how cheap. Frugal, maybe not cheap as the word. Let's say frugal.
It's Filmation.
Filmation was.
Yeah.
Like this wouldn't have had a big budget. You know that this thing's made on $12 a week. You know, that includes catering.
Yeah. I mean, come on. They were so cheap that Lou Scheimer was the narrator. And he's like, he is the guy in Filmation. He was the narrator. He was also the guy who sang the Brave Star theme.
Brave Star, which is a great freaking theme. I will die on that hill. Brave, because it's got a great hook. I'm all about
it. Really does. I kind of want to watch more episodes of it just to see if it's.
Well, if you're to compare, and we've been going on these little kind of diversions recent time, this is the worst thing so far.
It is bad.
What did we watch last time that was horrible?
Ghostbusters, and we thought Ghostbusters was bad. This makes Ghostbusters looks like the real Ghostbusters. It's
Yep,
just
it
really
does.
terrible. This
It
thing lasted
does.
28 episodes, which, given its runtime of each episode, I think equals like 22 minutes. Thank
Yeah.
God they're short, by the way.
Yeah.
This is like Adult Swim short. It's just
Yeah.
it's just terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, they it's obviously a reflection and a reaction to Star Wars. That's clearly what this show is.
Oh, Jonathan Harris. That's the name of the actor who was in Space Academy and the guy who played Dr. Smith on Lost in Space.
Ah, yes.
Forgive me, Mr. Harris. You were great.
Yes.
And you are missed.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a reactionary show. Everybody was cashing in on it at the time. It's not like they were alone in this kind of journey of making just horribly produced science fiction films to try to get a cash grab. Yeah, and it's also reminded that Filmation, and you will probably tell me I'm wrong here, but
Probably.
they should never have ever gotten involved with live action series. I've never seen a good live action Filmation series. Have I?
Didn't they do Shazam?
Okay, maybe one. But I haven't gone back and watched that of recent time. And we should put that on this list as well to go and visit.
No. I have such fond memories of watching Shazam as a child. I don't know if I want to revisit it.
You want to go back and ruin the memory of it. But yeah.
I'm just kidding. I totally do.
Yeah, I think we kind of got to go down that direction. But yeah, like more often than not, they seem to shine in the animation world, not in this live action world. You know, it could be budget, could be scripting, could be just a whole deal. I don't know. But Sid Haig. Or Sid Haig.
Well, this had to have been one of his early roles, though, like the one that got him started. It has to be.
Yeah, it probably was. I wonder what happened to Craig Littler.
I don't know. Maybe
gone back reading the weather for Arizona.
It could very well be. I'm looking at Wikipedia, and it's like his name doesn't even have a link to it.
No, I've seen that too. Both him and Charlie Dell didn't have a link on mine.
Okay, so let's see. Craig Littler. Let's look at the IMDb. Let's see. Well, I know he was born in 1941.
Yeah, so he's getting on in years now. He'd be in his 80s.
He was also he also is famous for being the person who uttered the now famous line, "Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon?"
I've never heard that line before. It must be in America.
It's very famous in America. It's a commercial.
Yeah, it's got to be an American thing.
What in the world? It's okay. That's his biography. Go back. I kept thinking, where's all his credits at? Oh, they're none. Oh dear.
There are none. Yeah, this was his big breakout.
He was on the Love Boat and Mannix.
Oh, good.
Whatever Super Beast was. The last thing he appeared in, 1997's Team Knight Rider. Ouch.
Yeah,
that was not a good show.
His career may not have been lived up to the expectation he had when he was young.
No. He was in one episode of The Dukes of Hazzard, but that's kind of nice. Oh, let's see. Before Jason of Star Command, he was in the Wonder Woman TV show. He was in Laverne and Shirley. A bunch of other things I've never heard of.
They're not crap television shows. They're massive shows for their time.
He had an uncredited role in Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, cool. Okay, so he's got some cred because of that.
35 parts throughout his career that lasted from 1968 to 1997. So, I mean, that's bigger career than I've had.
A career.
Yeah.
This not being one of the highlights.
No, I'm sure if he had the choice, he probably left this off his resume. But then again, hey, I starred in an outer space drama. Really, what was it called?
What did you say, Jason? Stop, man.
Wait, like Buzz Lightyear? Yeah, Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but I think we stretched this episode as far as we can stretch it with this subject matter. This was freaking horrible. I regret having to watch this. But are we called it, Jason? Are we going to Shazam next time?
Hey, you know what? They did recycle music from the Star Trek TV series, which I thought was kind of fun.
Did they really? Did you pick
Yeah,
up on the music cues?
All the music cues were recycled from the Filmation Star Trek series. And I thought that was funny because there's James Doohan, who supplied 75% of the voices from the Star Trek TV series.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
yeah,
in his dressing room, there was his check for the week plus at least 3 bottles of scotch.
Absolutely,
Just with the producers going, "We're so sorry.
That's the only way that I think that he could have made it through the show was to get a little tooted. And honestly, I don't blame him.
The moment, I think it's in the second or third episode where it's the evil clone version of him. And I don't know why this moment, but this was like me yelling out some very strong expletives at the television when he goes, Master, I need your help. And Sig Haig is going, use your whatever ability just to evaporate the bars.
Yeah.
Good idea, Master. I'm going, what is this? What happened to him? He was the freaking engineer on the Enterprise.
Maybe he wasn't trying to call Sig Haig. Maybe he was like asking Jesus, like, Master, I'm on Jason of Star Command. And Jesus is up in heaven going, oh, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Is there any way in our head canon, Jason, to connect this to Star Trek?
Yeah, it's the that we have the mirror universe, the evil universe. This is the stupid universe.
Yeah, this is the stupid universe.
The Star Trek Stupiverse.
So he's not drunk. He's just basically like a pack lead now.
Yeah, he's just basically Scotty. Yeah. Scotty was always drunk on the Enterprise. He was just Scottish, so he didn't show.
Oh, well.
I like to think Wiki is that universe's version of Spock.
Well, my opinion on that
is illogical. Isn't it
cute? Listen. Well, my opinion on this is very Dr. Evil, and that is Scotty, don't. Just don't with this, all right?
Dude. Shh.
Scotty, don't. Shh. When a problem comes along, you must zip it. Zip it good.
Zip it good. Would you like a little suckle of my zipple? Oh, look, I'm going into James Doohan vision. Getting a little blurry.
I suppose that's the biggest highlight. To close this episode off, the biggest highlight is knowing he was drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Is looking at his glazed eyeballs and going, right now, he's having the best time.
Yeah. He went off on somebody during the filming of that show, like Craig Little walked up to him and made a suggestion, get your hands off me. I was Scotty on Star Trek. Don't care.
Hang on, you're not Scottish in real life, though. I don't care.
When I get some scotch in me, I'll become Scottish.
Well, there you go. Jason of Star Command. If you have really great nostalgic memories of this show, keep them.
Keep them.
Leave it where it is. Don't go back. Just have the fondness in your heart, because the reality sucks donkey's butts. So that's the way I'm going to leave it.
Don't care. So Shazam next? Am I understanding?
I think we've kind of painted ourselves in a corner here.
We're going to ruin Shazam. All right.
Oh, awesome. No.
That honestly, Shazam is the first show ever I remember watching.
Isn't that the Power Hour or something? Shazam Power Hour?
If we're gonna do the live action version, because you said they made no good live action series.
Yeah, we're doing the live action.
Now the Shazam Power Hour, it was the superhero Power Hour, and it was rancid. It was terrible. We got to do that.
This
superhero high, high, Shazam, and ISIS. We have to do ISIS.
I know.
We just got on a government watch list because I just said the word ISIS.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The DOJ is coming after us. We're coming after you. I'm all the way over here. All right. We'll end that. We'll be back on these little. Now, I promise you guys, we will come back to the great franchise of He-Man and Master of the Universe at some point.
We're going to have to get our sanity back.
We're going to have to at some point. But right now, at least until 2025, we're going on these whacked out trips. So hopefully you're enjoying it and you come and join along. And if you want to support this, and God knows we need the help, how can they do that, Jason?
Oh, dear Lord. First of all, promise that you will never, ever watch Jason of Star Command ever, ever, ever. And after you make that solemn promise, please go down to the video description below. Check out how you can join us on Patreon and support us for as little as $5 a month or more. Or you can become a channel member by visiting our main page. You get videos early. You get all kinds of perks. You get feet pick if you're feeling saucy that way. My feet, his feet, whatever feet you want. I don't know. And I don't judge. It's all good.
No.
Whatever the case, it can't be any more embarrassing than watching Jason of Star Command. Do you want to know why James Doohan passed away? So he wouldn't have to do another season of Jason of Star Command. It was the best career decision of his entire life.
Do you think Wiki is named after, like the concept of computers and Wiki is named after Wiki? I want that to be real.
I don't think they're that clever.